right, y'all. Welcome back. We did miss an episode last week, but that is our business. Like that. Have you been looking at her? Do you follow Tabitha Brown?
I follow her on everything.
I just follow her on Instagram, but you know what though? She I don't know if I have the courage to eat all the stuff that she makes. Now I'm okay with the carrot bacon, but I've been so removed from eating that kind of meat that I don't even know if I would enjoy it. But I did like turkey bacon. But okay, so this is the thing. Now that I don't eat beef, turkey, ham, all that stuff, I like eating meat does not sit well with me. Even if I like Impossible Burgers are really good, but something about it still doesn't taste good because in my mind I think I'm eating beef. So it's kind of like
okay.
Out of sight, out of mind.
I wish I had that feeling.
It's no fun though, because it's like, dang, I want to enjoy. But
yeah. I had recently went over one of my friend's house and she recently stopped eating meat and she tried the Morningstar bacon.
Mm-hmm.
I've tried vegan bacon before because it was this one brand that I got from Kroger and it was pretty good. It didn't really look like bacon though. It looked like beef strips. I don't know, but
I know what you mean. If it's the Morningstar, it looked like
Morningstar looked like dog bacon.
It looked like construction paper.
But I tried it. It wasn't bad, but I just didn't feel comfortable eating it. So I do feel like if I do decide to transition back over to being vegan, that I'm gonna cut out a lot of the substitutes because Tabitha Brown actually opened my eyes up because she was making like taco meat out of pecans, and I'm like, oh, that seemed like
yes. I've had what is it that I had before? I had it at mellow mushroom. I can't remember the what I'm trying to reference at mellow mushroom, but it's similar to. I feel like the consistency might be similar to the pecans. So I was told that a really good vegan sausage is field roast. Have you had those before?
Field roast, yeah. The apple.
Yep, apple sage. So I tried to order some yesterday on Instacart, but Kroger apparently was sold out. But I do want to try those with some egg whites. I think that might be good. But that's
field roast is not my favorite sausage. It's not bad though. It's not my favorite one though.
I was told that it has a good consistency, and that's what really gets me. The flavor, not so much. Like that's why I love cauliflower wings so much, because when you cook them like chicken wings, it really like has that consistency.
Same thing with jackfruit. Oh. The girls let me tell you something. People be so mad at me about the jackfruit thing. They're like, oh, it ain't gonna taste like that. Just looks weird, but it be tasting. I mean.
Let me tell you something. Jackfruit is whatever. You know how people try to claim that tofu is whatever you want to be? No. Jackfruit is that girl. And she's here to stay. Ever since I made those cheesesteak egg rolls.
Yeah.
Then I had a burrito bowl the other day with pulled chicken.
Oh yeah. You did. Okay.
Next up, I'm gonna make some buffalo chicken dip with jackfruit.
Okay.
Because the chicken got to be pulled for that anyway, so it has the same consistency. I like it because it's not soggy. A lot of this stuff gets really soft and stuff, and you got to really try hard. The cool thing about jackfruit is it just whatever you flavor it to be is what it's gonna be.
You and soggy food do not mess. When I say you be saying everything soggy,
unless it's cereal, and even then, I really kind of grown out of that too. So anyway, how was your birthday? Where your balloons go? You had your balloons up.
I got my ceiling fan on, so they keep kind of like moving around and doing the most. But my birthday was decent. I'm kind of over being in Atlanta. I'll say this all the time. I know y'all probably saw me hearing me saying this, but it didn't really nothing to do. Even if it wasn't COVID wasn't going on, I don't think that I would have knew what to do here. Like, I don't know. I'm kind of over it. Like, I've been everywhere, done everything pretty much.
It's kind of, and it gets old. You kind of.
But I did have fun though. I had fun. I went to the park. But yeah, we went to the park and just smoked hookah. We had JJ's and Popeye's sides.
Next time, if you listening right now, you go to JJ. Can you just like grab the seasoning shaker and just leave?
We had a big pan of chicken.
I called myself remaking that seasoning. I can't. It's not possible.
You Googled it before?
No, you told me it was ranch seasoning, and it's not.
What is it?
It ain't that. I feel like it tastes like sugar and onion powder and something else, like garlic a little bit.
And probably ranch. Anything white. I'll be thinking of all the white seasoning.
Oh, that's too bad. Maybe you've never had garlic powder before. But
that's what I'm saying. It's white.
So anyway.
But I had fun, though. I did have fun. Yeah.
Okay. Well, your
Like,
birthday was the same day as my dad's birthday. I mean, it's always going to be the same day. But yeah, so we went and surprised me, my sister, her husband, and their 2 kids. We popped up on him. He lives in the middle of nowhere. It took us a long time to get there. And he had a Zoom party, which was actually very lit.
Kamaya had a Zoom party, and it was so fun.
Let me tell you something. Everybody was there, all ages. They was drinking. They was singing. They was doing trivia. I was like, you know what? Maybe I need to organize. I'm gonna have one with all my friends that don't know each other, and we just gonna all know each other. I love my friends all know each other.
Kamaya had one for her birthday, and I didn't know nobody in there, and it was like, well, I knew 3 people, but it was about 20 people in there, 21, and a DJ. That was the fire part.
That is fire. Y'all was dancing?
The DJ was so lit. Like, he was playing so many old songs that I had forgot about, and I was just like, wow. Because Kamaya graduated, what, 05, 06? Mm-hmm. So the songs that we listened to, we you know, they was a little older than us, so they was able to go out, you know, before us, but I feel like they was lit. They was in there going off. We was taking shots. We was dancing, smoking hookah. Everybody had their hookahs lit.
We was like, kind of vibe. Imagine that. Who would have thought that a virtual birthday party would be lit?
It was so fun. Like, the music was going off. I think that the music made the party though.
Cause you can't help but jig a little bit.
Yeah, the music, especially if you got a really good DJ, he was fire.
Do you remember his name?
No.
Okay.
I didn't. I actually snuck out like I do in real life, I snuck out the party.
Keep that same energy.
I literally just was like, leave, and then just close my laptop.
I think I might have a random just because Zoom party with my friends. My house is finally, I'm basically fully decorated, and my plan after doing that was to have a game night, but Rona had other plans, so I think I might just have a little something for my peeps, and then.
Okay.
I don't drink though, so we're gonna have some nice bottled water.
Okay.
But no, that's what's up. So in shop talk, first things first, I want to congratulate Nicki Minaj, Doja Cat, Megan Thee Stallion, and Beyonce for topping the charts. Apparently, it's the first time that 4 African American women have topped the charts at the same time, and this was Nicki Minaj's first #1, which actually I can't believe that.
It's her first #1. The closest that she's gotten with her solo career was Anaconda. And
really? Then, of all songs?
Of all songs. You know what's so crazy? That was her best album. And that song, I remember when it came out, everybody was like.
Yeah, I didn't like it or the video or the twerking that she did in the video. So
they was just like, what? But realistically, that song was like one of her biggest songs. It's crazy. Congrats to them though. I do really like the song. I honestly like the original better than the remix just because I felt like the original song was just a vibe. Like the video for it and everything kind of went together. But Nicki Minaj's part wasn't bad, but it wasn't necessarily needed. But I am happy that her collaborating with her did help both of them get to #1. I feel like it was.
I wonder how it feels to be an artist that's been out as long as she has, to not have a #1 or a Grammy, and then new people come along and get it. I mean, she probably, not that I'm sure she cares, but it's kind of like, excuse me.
I think I've read something recently just about big major artists who didn't get Grammys up until like 10 years in their career, maybe like 8, 9. So it's not uncommon. Mm-hmm. I think it's just because Nicki Minaj just has such a big presence, and like for the longest she was the only artist that was winning all the awards, and pretty much the only female rapper that was out here making some major noise for a long time.
All right, so next up we got I want to congratulate all the 2020 graduates, high school, college, any level of life.
Gang shit. Okay. Period. I saw this morning that a mother and daughter, black mother and daughter, graduated college together, both for medical degrees. And I thought,
that's fine, like on the Parkers. But no, I feel really bad for graduates that can't have the like quote unquote true graduation experience, because it's kind of like this is the day you look forward to. When your mama drop you off in kindergarten on the first day of school, this is the day you waiting on.
Yeah.
Kind of like, I mean, I know that this is like unique, at least the silver lining is like, well, who else can say they graduated during the pandemic? But at the same time, I know for me, the moment before it was time for me to walk across the stage, I knew that was the last time I was going to have that moment. And it was unreal. And then once it was over, it was over. But I can imagine, especially how long it took me to graduate from my bachelor's, I can imagine finally finishing and then boom, Rona. But it's out of our control. I do want to give recognition to them. I do feel bad for them, though, for real. And I hope that there's some kind of way that they can at least have a ceremony when this is all said and done.
People been having backyard graduations, which I thought was cool. Everybody's getting like real creative.
That is cool, but I want my dean to give me my book, and I want to pose, and I want everybody to be yelling my name, and I want the moderator to be like, "Please settle down until the next name is called."
Oh my gosh.
Next up, I want to talk about Arkansas Mo, who used a small business loan from the coronavirus stimulus agreement to fund himself to get cars, jewelries, watches, and his business actually closed in September of last year. Now, and he paid child support. He paid like $50,000 in child support.
He paid it?
Yeah, he paid child support. I think he looked at it as, okay, I'm a business owner. Let me apply for this small business loan because it's forgivable and pretend that I'm using it to pay my employees when in fact you actually don't have an active business listed and you have made these random large transactions, and then he got locked up. Like, you think come on.
You want to know something crazy?
What?
I know people that have done that recently. Well, I've heard of it. Now, the gag is they're business owners. They just don't have, I don't know if you know anything about it, or I'm sure you know more than I do, but they were saying like for these business loans that they were giving out during the stimulus checks and stuff for business, that you had to have a certain amount of employees to get a certain amount of money.
And they have to be on payroll. Yes.
Exactly. So the girls was giving, I only got 2 employees, but I'm gonna have 10 today.
Yeah, he told the government that he had 107 employees and he got like a couple $1 million. Yeah, man. Somebody actually asked me why I didn't apply for that loan, but I'm not gonna lie. Number one, I don't need it, and that's not even to flex. I genuinely don't need it. And number two, it literally in the terms of the loan, it said that it's used to pay your employees so you don't have to lay them off. So this is to keep you afloat. I don't have employees. I don't even pay myself. You get what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, why would I even do something? I ain't about that illegal life.
Neither.
And I don't listen. And now on top of that, I'm getting millions of dollars. No. That don't even make sense. I'm selling $20 t-shirts. Okay. Like it ain't even that deep, sis. I could hold the inventory.
Yeah, he definitely was. My thing is, when people do stuff like that, I never understand why. Like, you're not scamming or doing stuff illegal to better your life. And I think I would probably understand it more if you were doing it to, if
they
you
said
ain't
this
have
man leased a Rolls Royce.
That's
He
what I'm
bought
saying.
a watch. I can't remember the kind of watch.
Part with me.
It
That's
just
a mental illness.
Literally, you did it. You got it to stunt. It's like people who run out the store with Rolex and post pictures on Instagram with a Rolex on. Exactly.
You take stuff too far.
I just cannot. For me, I would never try to scam the government. You know what I'm saying? And then when it comes to my business and things that I do, I make sure my documentation is straight. That's why I said I don't even pay nobody. That was the first thing I thought. Okay, this is for people to continue to pay their employees. I don't even have nobody to pay. So let me just not even keep listening to this.
Yeah.
I'm good,
love. I think that I had a conversation about this recently just because during this pandemic, it really opened my eyes. And I always said over and over again how I just wish I was better at saving my money. I wish I knew other ways to kind of like build my credit, but this is the perfect time for me to even look it up or figure it out on my own. So I've started it. And me doing that not only made me feel better, it made me feel like I'm actually doing something better as an adult. But I just listen to the stuff that other people want and like what they deem is important to have and, the reason why they want it. And it kind of just made me kind of look at myself because it's just like, damn, like realistically, like I'm not a flashy person where I just have to have this, have to have that just to maintain a certain look. But I do like to have nice stuff.
Yeah.
But some of that stuff I can go without because half of the stuff I get, I don't even wear for real. Because I'm always working. or I'm out, either I'm working or I'm in the house. I don't really do too much, but it's just like that's money that could be saved. So usually on my birthday, I like ball out, buy me some shoes, like 4 pair of shoes. Like I do the most. I always buy my shoes around my birthday. I bought 1 pair of shoes, and that was only because I needed some boots for my photo shoot.
Mm-hmm.
But I just kind of like noticed. I don't know. I had a conversation with my friends the other day, and I just was telling them. I mean, we were all talking about like stuff that we wanted, like cars and stuff like that, and just to hear people's like, I don't like their reasoning as to why they would want something. Like, one of my friends even said something as far as like how he didn't understand. He would never buy a new car. So I'm saying like a brand new car off the lot.
Yeah, me either.
And I'm like, okay, but let me get into the reasoning why. He said he would rather buy a used BMW or Benz or something like that. Like, but in my head, no shade, I didn't see the reasoning why. And he was trying to explain it, but it just wasn't making no sense. And for me, I'm looking at it as a money saver because, yeah, I'm getting a brand new car and it's definitely helping me build my credit if I'm paying my car note on time. But also, as far as maintenance, like I've had my car for 3 years and I got it brand new off the lot. I have never paid up for oil change. I've never paid for tires. I've never paid for roadside assistance. It's free. And I got AAA just in case it run out. Like, if I have a BMW, I'm gonna have to pay $600-700 to replace tires and
Yeah, it's catchy. So I agree. There are some perks to getting a brand new car. I think the reason why a lot of people, at least for me, the reason why I will never buy a brand new car is because cars decrease in value like that. Like it's nothing.
yeah,
So let's say I have a car accident and I have full coverage. My car, I'm paying a car note on it, and I'm paying $25,000-$30,000. And according to the valuation of my car, it's only worth $16,000. So now they're gonna forgive that $16,000, and now I'm left with the balance that I still owe on the overall loan of the car. And that's something that nobody wants. Now there are occasions where you get something like gap insurance, that can forgive stuff like that, but I don't really know the terms of that. But sometimes I can understand that, but I do think that at least depending on how you buy a car, like if you get a car certified pre-owned, they usually still come with a warranty from the dealership. So you do get certain services covered and stuff like that. So
well, I'm gonna just tell you now, like this is the person that I'm talking about, or I don't mean to throw them under the bus like that, but you will have to know them, and I'll tell you. Well, I mean, yeah,
okay.
we'll
Well,
talk out there.
that's the reason why I would get a used car. But sometimes I do see cars that are brand new and some that are certified pre-owned, and the price difference isn't too big to where I'll be like, all right, let me just get a brand new. Because it's nothing like being the person to put the first 5-10 miles on a car. But it
Yeah,
just, honestly, it's case by case. It's nothing wrong with getting a new car. You just got to understand the risk involved. Like with my car, I probably paid for that car 3 times over. And then when you start talking about interest and all this stuff, it's just not worth it. But anyway, it just depends on you. And then do what you want to do. And if an
yeah,
emergency happen and you need some money, just better hope you have it.
that's the part I'm talking about.
There you
Like, but I don't know. I just don't understand. Like, I don't know. I think Atlanta plays a big part on that too, just because people here are so flashy. And it be rubbing off on folks, some people. So today's open discussion, we're going to talk about, I wanted to talk about something I seen online, of course. I saw that Tyra Banks was getting a lot of slack because of some of her old episodes of Top Model and just like different things that she was saying to people that now, of course, is like very problematic. And also just want to talk about the different beauty standards that back then compared to now.
So what did she say? Are you talking about that video where she was talking with Danielle about the gap tooth?
So that's one of them. It was a lot of them, but that's just one example. She was talking about Danielle with the gap tooth. She just said that she can't be a cover girl on a cover girl ad with a gap in her mouth. And she was just recommending that she close it. Now, she didn't even close it on the show, but later on down the line, she did end up closing her gap.
I remember that. It's still closed now?
Yeah. She had got to close like later on down the line. But the conversation came up because of Slick Woods. Slick Woods ended up posting it on her page. And let me see.
Oh, she started this?
That particular thing, Slick Woods reposted it because, of course, Slick Woods is known for her gap. Slick Woods ended up posting a clip on her page on Instagram, and she said with the caption, "No one should ever talk to you like this, Danielle. The episode fucked up little Simone / Slick. That's her real name, Simone." She said, she tagged Tyra Banks and Miss J, and she was just saying, "So this is how y'all feel?" That's what she asked him about people with gaps. And I'm like, you know what? What's so crazy is because back then, we thought that was normal. Like, this is over 10 years ago, because we were still in like middle school, elementary school. This was a long time ago. Mm-hmm. So I mean, that's not to cape for Tyra, but realistically, like back then, things weren't as sensitive as it is now, for one. And then we all didn't think nothing was wrong with that. I mean, maybe some people did, but
this is one of the best shows on TV, highest rated.
Nobody really thought nothing was wrong with what she said. Now, of course, the climate has changed a lot, and for good and bad ways, because I feel like people who do have certain disabilities, certain like gap teeth and vitiligo, like skin conditions, stuff like that, they're getting more recognition, because people who have those conditions, they don't really have anybody to look up to have that. So more plus size models, actual plus size models, instead of like girls that just got curved. Yeah, like
me.
Actual plus size models are getting the recognition they need, thanks to people like Rihanna, because realistically, because even still, I think we still have a long way to go, because I look at stuff, like I know that we have like a more diverse community when it comes to fashion and beauty standards, but realistically, it ain't a lot of brands that's accepting people that are overweight as models, like Gypsy Sport and Fenty, Savage Fenty,
Target. Shout out to Target.
Yeah.
Target even has a model with a prosthetic leg. Actually, I think she passed away.
Yeah.
But I remember seeing her in the ads. But yeah, I that's something that I noticed. I agree. So number one, I don't understand what she was expecting when she posted it, especially with it being as old as that is. And how old was she at that time? She probably was a kid or whatever the case is. But I feel like it's kind of obvious to assume that they probably don't feel the same way today, to me. Because like you said, at that time, that was the beauty standard. And it's not like Tyra didn't like the girl or thought she was ugly. It was just kind of like, and modeling is very strict. Like I was listening to a podcast the other day that was talking about this, and they were saying like modeling is about objectifying it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And especially at that time, you had to be not exotic, but like sexy, and just had to have something that was just like almost close to perfect. So that was just basically what they were putting those girls through. And that's why that show was so rigorous and so extreme, where they would have to shave their hair off and color their hair and all this other stuff, and then might get eliminated next week. But it's kind of like, we just showing you how cutthroat this industry is. So I don't like that. I don't think that's cool. I'm really just not a fan of people canceling stuff that they probably supported back then. Now, granted, Slick Woods probably was offended by that as a kid.
Yeah.
But if it was 10 years ago, okay, I'll say this, and I don't really agree with everything he says, but Charlamagne the guy, he said, if the speed limit in 1999 was 70 miles per hour, and now it is 40 miles per hour, are you going to give me a ticket because back in 1999 I was driving 70 miles per hour? No. I'm just know that I'm following the speed limit today. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of what now I do get when people find out somebody said something hateful or they did something very disrespectful or harmful to somebody back then. But I feel like people, you just like, how do people learn lessons with you just calling them out and canceling them? You get what I'm saying? I feel like, and I don't know what could Slick Woods have done. Maybe she should have just reached out to them herself and be like, hey, let's have this chit chat and talk about this and talk about the growth and beauty. You know what I'm saying? It's just a way to go about it instead of trying to embarrass people.
I feel like that would have been perfect for her to do, to maybe talk to them in private, and then even come up with a situation where like they know that they said that in the past, and they can come out with something now that's like, you know, back then, well, we can talk about the changes over time. It could have been something positive, but I think that I just don't like the fact that people jump on like old stuff like that, or just like hold people accountable. Because for real, I don't know. I can say the same thing for a lot of different things, not even just beauty standards, but just stuff that people say when they're younger. I can, I ain't gonna say necessarily excuse it, but some people grow up and they realize like how wrong
they literally learn. Exactly. Somebody said that a couple seasons later, somebody had their gap fixed. Now I don't remember that because I definitely watched Top Model for years after that. When Danielle was on there. But I don't know. To me, it's just another reflection of Twitter being sensitive, honey. Or Instagram or whoever, or people just being sensitive. I think that's what that was a direct result of things being more diverse. Now people are picking at every little thing, like, ooh, what about this? What about, but it's just kind of like common sense. Like, I got whoopings when I was little. Am I canceling my mama? Probably not. You know?
I literally had to get off Twitter and exit this morning because I was on there, and of course Summer Walker was the topic because of how she got her makeup done last night.
It looked really good.
I thought so too, but the girls are like going up about it, and it's because she didn't get a new makeup artist. She just was playing around. Like, she met up with Nikita Dragon, and Nikita Dragon is not a makeup artist at all, and she did her makeup. What's wrong with that?
So what did she do? I thought she was a makeup artist.
She's an influencer. She has her own makeup brand.
Oh, but she doesn't take like clients and stuff.
No, she does her own. So she's not even an artist. She just did her own. And usually when you get your makeup done by an influencer or somebody who is a makeup enthusiast, they do your makeup how they would do their own.
And that's how her makeup be looking. I thought she looked great. It did
look good.
It kind of did make it look like she got some more stuff done to her face. Maybe that's what they was tripping about, because she looked totally different, but I liked it.
This girl was a guy was just, he posted and just was saying how good she looked and blah blah blah, and this other girl was like, oh, I can't believe you support her, she's a pill popping hotep supporting blah blah blah, just was going off, and I'm just like, I just wish that social media, I just wish it wasn't I wish that, and I know this sucks, but I just wish that it wasn't a thing right now or forever for celebrities to put their personal business out there, because I'm like, do you think that all your celebrities or all your favorite people just gonna have favorable traits about them that you just gonna love and like that's not fair to treat somebody, because there's some stuff that you, it's fucked up. Like, it's so lame, and I hate the fact that people chastise you for liking certain people, to like, just because I don't look at things the way you do. So maybe I'm overlooking certain things for a reason, but you can't get mad at me because I'm supporting her. Like, I like her music, and I like the way she look, and I like this. Just because you don't get mad at me. I think that Twitter is just like the sheep. Like, everybody got to think the same. Everybody got to do.
And honestly, I feel like people that tweet some of the stuff, they don't even think that way. I think they just saying it to troll. I think that most people that spark these conversations are trolling. I mean, people literally say, today somebody said that Chris Brown would wash Usher in a versus battle. Chris Brown grew up on Usher. Excuse me? Usher could drop a hit today just like he did in the 90s.
That's because that's all they know.
Exactly, but that's my thing. Like, if you don't know it, say that, but don't just make a general statement like that. It's kind of.
And this is also the reason why you cannot calculate people's success by Billboard charts and freaking awards. Because just because you have those does not.
Songs make impact. That's really, and they don't have nothing to do with awards. You're right.
They don't have nothing to do with that.
People don't even get nominated for awards because of the time that it released, and then they qualify for the next year, and they don't even care about the song no more.
Yeah.
My nose
issue. If you do coke, just say
that. But no, I agree. There's just so many foolish things I see, even when they be like, I mean, even things about political stuff. I mean, I look at a lot of international news, and a lot of the same stuff happen in every country. But it's just people, I just need people to educate themselves and stop going on YouTube. This is my thing. This is what I don't like. People that work in the medical field, they have gone through the education, the testing, the qualification, the experience, the intern, or whatever you can think of to be in that field. But you cannot go on Google and go on YouTube and rely on these people who didn't even go to school to think that they have the answers. You get what I'm saying? It just doesn't make sense to me. It's like, so can you do open heart surgery? Probably not. But you would go to a surgeon to get the work done. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's a thin line between natural remedies and just not believing doctors in general. Like, it's just kind of disrespectful. It's kind of like saying, it's kind of like how these parents are teaching their kids right now during Corona, and they're realizing how difficult it is to teach their child, but they have so much flack to give the teachers, and the teachers have gone through the experience to be able to do this job, and now y'all finally see what it is. I think my thing.
And then imagine having to teach 20 other students.
Okay, and then dealing with their parents. You get what I'm saying? So I think the biggest thing about during this time is just really frustrating me, the stuff that people are putting out there that is not factual, and they believe because they did their research, and their research consisted of Googling and looking at YouTube videos. Mm-hmm. I can't. There's not enough stuff out there on the internet that's gonna make me feel like I know more than my doctor or my nurse. Period. I might be able to like get rid of a headache by snorting some lavender, but what about if I got an aneurysm? Can you help me with that? Probably not. Thank you.
You take stuff too far.
I'm just saying, people really just think, people look at medical stuff as surface level things like healing yourself. That is fine. But when stuff is something as serious as coronavirus or diabetes or AIDS or cancer, it's just some stuff you can't Google and find out. That just is what it is. Like when you Google why my elbow hurt, and now it's saying you in labor.
Yeah. I do think that I do like the more holistic route when it comes to certain stuff, but certain things in life, like, you just can't not get medical help from.
People go to college to be a holistic doctor. You know what I'm saying? So what difference does that make?
Yeah.
That's not me trying to check you. I'm just saying.
No. I'm just
call
saying
themselves holistic because they haven't gone to the doctor. Just say you don't have insurance. Like,
no, I get it. I know. Look, listen. I'll tell you if I ain't got insurance. I'll say, you know.
I just feel like people just take our ancestors use mangoes as a way of saying they can fix a broken shoulder. No.
You felt that in your heart.
It just really frustrates me. I can't it's kind of disrespectful to people that are in that field.
Yeah, I mean, it is disrespectful. I mean, well, yeah, I feel like it is disrespectful, but I don't know. I always tell people just don't fully try to do stuff yourself, especially if you're not trained on it. Like, definitely if you study holistic medicine, if that's your way of dealing with stuff, but you can't just get mad at everybody for not doing that, for one. And then on top of that, like, you can't, I don't know. I don't know. I don't think, because even with the Dr. Sebi stuff and how people like chastise him for it and he didn't go to school for it, I understand that. And do I follow some of the things that he said? I definitely listen to it and I definitely believe it. But you know what's so crazy? I've been hearing about Dr. Sebi since we were young because of me watching Left Eye. Mm-hmm. And that's when I got introduced to it. So it kind of made me look into it when I was younger. And then my mom, she did a lot of that stuff too, but my mom was the queen of the doctor.
But see, I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but I'm just saying people who like try to blast doctors for being a doctor, or people who are anti-vaxxers, you know what I'm saying? Like, they don't want to vaccinate their kids because they don't believe in it. Okay, that's one thing. But then what if your child gets the mumps or the measles or coronavirus and they don't have a vaccine?
They can't fight it because they didn't get no vaccine.
Exactly.
I get that. I don't believe in people that don't vaccinate their kids.
Worse than that, they give it to other people. And now people are dying because you didn't want to make sure your child didn't have the things that they needed. You need to homeschool them if it comes down to it. And now when I hear, now there's this one particular girl who talks about it all the time, and she really does not have a true platform on why she doesn't do it. She just says, because I know a lot of doctors and just know. Like, what does that mean? What does that mean? Like, when I think about when there were like smallpox and things that were literally killing people off, like even if you want to think about like the Spanish flu, if somebody does not take the medication to stop it, then it's not going to stop. Oh, sorry, I don't even know why I'm sounding so passionate. It just really frustrates. People just want to act like they just know stuff because they like. It's a thin line between getting rid of your own headache and getting a heart transplant. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, for sure. And hitting a broken bone.
Exactly. I don't like that's kind of selfish to a child. Even when I think about like I was reading a long time ago. I think this was this was probably like my second, third year in school, but I was reading about epidemics, and they were just talking about. I lost my train of thought. Oh, antibiotics, and so they give you antibiotic stuff earlier on because your body can be prepared to fight stuff. Because you think about it, like a baby, their immune system is very strong, and once they get out into the world, they start getting sick. They getting like colds and the flu. They go to daycare, they getting all this stuff. So when it's time to go to school, the school's like, hey, you need to get these vaccinations. And it's like, they like, oh, well, if my child gets the vaccination, they gonna get autism. And then there's actually no documentation proving that. So who told you that? Google?
Word of mouth.
And that's what it is. They got to hear somebody speak passionately about it, word of mouth, who probably went to school for darn refrigeration. And now you saying, oh, I know because such and such son is autistic. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm for real. I'm done for real. I'm sorry. I just think it's stupid. I don't like it. It's not cool. And
I definitely 100% agree with you with that because I hate that shit too. I hate it. I'm honestly, because I just look at people saying certain stuff, and then I remember when some recent study was saying that some child didn't get vaccinated and then he died from something small.
I believe it. It's kind of
So,
like, because your immune system is weak. It's like people who have like autoimmune disease, let's say AIDS, can die from getting, strep throat. You know what I'm saying? Or something as simple, something that we would normally battle off because their immune system is weakened. And that's another thing why they were saying, like, worst case scenario, if most people in the population get coronavirus, then people will gain immunity. Now, granted, we don't want to do that. We don't want it to happen. But your body kind of learns how to fight off this kind of stuff. So when it sees it again, it will repel it.
So let me ask you this. If they come out with a coronavirus vaccine, are you going to get it? Or would you be open to get it?
I would be open to getting it because the reason why at first I used to be like, I ain't getting no flu shot because I always, I think this is what happened. I used to get the flu every year, right? Every single year, I swear to God. And then one year, I used to get it every year. I don't know why. It started in college, and then after that, I used to get it all the time. And so I used to be like, okay, next year I'm gonna get the flu shot. I'm gonna get it next year. And then I don't get it because I ain't get the flu. And I'm like, oh, I think I'm healed. And then I get it, right? I went 1 year without getting it. And then last year I got it. And I was like, okay, for real, going for it, I'm getting a flu shot. Anyway, the reason why is because the flu is I don't want it, okay? And I can't control when I get it because I don't darn know. And I've had it so many times. So anyway, with coronavirus, especially with it being a lot as deadly as it is, I don't want to take that chance.
Yeah.
And God forbid if more strands of it come out and then I didn't protect myself the first go around and then it gets worse. Or like I've said a million times before, if I get it, don't know I have it and give it to somebody else and they die. I don't want that to happen. I never want it to happen. So yes, I'm going to get it.
Okay. I've never gotten a flu shot. And you know what's so crazy? The reason why I've never gotten a flu shot is because of word of mouth. Everybody always says how it makes them sick and all this other crap. So I'm like,
that's my thing. I was like, well, I get the flu every year anyway, so I might as well get the shot. What's the difference?
And I never got one. So I never even got the flu shot. But the way that this virus is going around and just how, like, I don't know. I never know what to think. I'll just be having to do my own research on stuff because
on Google and YouTube.
I never know how to feel. That's why I hate social media sometimes because I feel like it clouds my fucking.
Me too.
Mental.
It's easy to impact, and that stuff is spread so quickly. You see the viral tweet, but you just looked at it before and see the numbers just going up, and it's like, look at it just getting spewed at all these people's heads. I don't like that. But no, I don't. I'm not opposed to it. And I also know that as I get older, my body in general will get weaker, and I can't save myself. Once you get it, think about this. People who be like, they social distancing, they be like, oh, I'm gonna just go to this one house party, right? And they get coronavirus and they don't make it. That whole time they like, why I go to that party? I don't want to feel like that about vaccines.
Yeah.
And I work with a lot of people who have kids. It's just so many things to consider. And then I also feel like this is not the last kind of situation like this. It could be more. So let me just the quality of air is getting bad. The ice sheets are melting. I need to protect myself.
No, I agree. I guess everybody have the mentality that it's like, oh, you only live once. I might as well just get all my fun out now because when I die.
You die once too. So you a cat? What's good?
I'm a cat.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't, and I feel like I probably don't even. I'm not even like I don't even sound educated enough to even be explaining my stance on it. But I love my
educated
nephew.
enough. I stand with you, Black Queen.
Shut up. But anyway, we spent a long time on that.
Yeah. So, back to our original topic about current beauty standards. Do you feel like? Because I know that a lot of people are like more so praising natural bodies, natural features, and all this other stuff, but also the from my point of view, like me looking at it, I feel like the numbers of people who are getting plastic surgery and who want it is rising every day. I feel like even people that I would never expect to get something done, they will get it done. Do you feel like that's going to decrease over the time?
No. I think that number one, I think that plastic surgery is way more accessible than it is now than it was before, and it would have been way more popular had it been more accessible. Number one. Number two, I know a lot of people now have gotten plastic surgery that does not have the big body bands look. So you wouldn't know they had work done. So I think that maybe people will lessen away from the dramatic look and just get like a little razzle dazzle.
A little 1-2.
Yeah, a little one too. Because think about it, people always been getting titties. That ain't been a problem. They've been getting nose jobs. That's not gonna stop. People gonna always find something in themselves that they don't like. I just think that they're gonna stray away from the cartoon look and just get a little here, a little there.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know.
I'm gonna get it. I've been going back and forth with that, and I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't really trust it. I just hate the fact that, because at first I wasn't opposed to it, like especially like fat transfers, but I think that so many people that I know personally that got it are having medical problems afterwards. Like I literally have a friend.
What problems are they having?
I have a friend that had plastic surgery done in Colombia, and she came back to America and started having complications with her legs, and also like she started getting weak. Like she started getting like fevers and getting weak and could barely walk. So now she's good, but even after she healed from that, I want to say like a month and a half after that, she will be swimming or at the pool and will wrap a towel around her, and her butt will be leaking because her wounds open back up. So
no, ma'am.
It'll be like,
yeah, I don't like that.
It's like blood tissue on her from her hips and her thigh, like on her towel.
You see if she want to talk about that on the show? I would like to know more about that. She don't want to talk about the doctor, but maybe her experience. I mean, she don't have to.
She can talk about the doctor. She posted about him. She
I want to know more about that, because you know what? I always say I want it done, and then I go on the doctor's page and I see what they be doing to the bodies, and I'm like, I don't like that.
Yeah, like, and then the same doctor that she went to, ended up fleeing the country. Maybe like,
that doctor, yeah. But see, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like he always had a bad history. People just went to him anyway. No offense, it's not to victim blame at all, but I feel like when people go on like real self and stuff like that, you can kind of see the history. But
I don't know. It's definitely good doctors and bad doctors, but
yeah, it's risky though, because you could be the first bad case that they have, and I would. And that's why I just hate my booty flat, y'all. I hate it here.
So you just want to get a little shape.
I want to get a little shape. Take it out my bag. I got a big bag. Just kidding. No, I don't. But yeah, no, I do. But it's not that deep. Like it's never stopped me from getting a man. I just be wanting to wear a little body. But I just be wanting to wear little bodycon dresses and stuff, man. And I ain't about to put on no butt pad.
You can wear one. Just get a waist trainer.
It's not gonna help me, baby. Trust me. I need a butt trainer.
They have those.
Anyway, so what else do you think are some things that used to be that weren't accepted before, but that are accepted now? You know, I think that open sexuality has been way more accepted before than now. I listen to a lot of podcasts, but I listened to a podcast and they were talking about destigmatizing like STDs, like herpes and stuff like that. And I know that might sound crazy to some people, but it's kind of like, you know, it's way more common than you think it is. And
myself.
And if people would be more open about it and talk about their experiences, then people would be more educated on it and know how to protect themselves. She gave an example. If we think about the early 80s, there were probably you can probably count on no hands how many people would say they were openly gay. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then society started to accept them. And, you know, there was that big issue with, you know, when AIDS started to like break out and things like that. And now, you know, a lot of people who are openly gay, you know, people who are fluid, you know, people, you know, they're not attracted to nobody. But it just kind of comes with like, you know, normalizing stuff, things of that nature. So I just think that sexuality in general has been normalized. I mean, we can use OnlyFans for an example. Like, you know, people can try to shame girls that do OnlyFans, but these girls, I mean, they sacrificing their public image, but
they're richer than me, baby. That's all I gotta say.
That's what I'm saying.
Like you making my year's salary almost
in a
month.
Yes, and then on top of that, everybody's not on there having sex. Now, granted, a lot of people are, but I've seen some girls' pages, and don't ask me how, and they posting pictures at a counter. Okay, I saw one where a girl had her body. She was in a bathtub with a bunch of soap, but she had put like a strawberry over her body and was like, "Go to my OnlyFans to see it." And guess what? She in the regular picture, she still wasn't showing her body. It was just soap. But regardless, I just think that people are mad that people are being who they want to be and doing it on their own terms. I don't like that.
That's her Twitter name.
I don't like that. I sure don't. But yeah, I just think like, hey, do OnlyFans. If you don't want to be with a girl that has OnlyFans, then don't be with a girl that has one. End of the discussion.
Mm-hmm. Do you feel like it's wrong for people to not want to be with somebody who do stuff like that?
I don't think it's wrong. I don't want to be with somebody who got 20 toes. No, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And I think that anybody who tries to convince somebody to accept it should not be trying to be with that person either.
Yeah, like I don't think that that's cool for people to just be like, "Oh, you're sexual shaming." Like, da-da-da. I'm like, we've all watched porn at some point in our life, but realistically, it comes
All the
with a
time.
lot. Like, and I think that people don't think about the long term. Like, some people are just dating just to date. Some people dating just to have fun. Like, you don't. It depends on the area that you are in your life. And sometimes some people dating long term, they want to have kids and stuff. Who the hell want to date somebody? Well, what if you were dating to marry, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you want to have kids and a family? You gotta think about your kids' future. At this point, it ain't even about you no more.
Are you
It ain't
talking
even
about
about you.
people that are on OnlyFans?
Yeah, and you got, because I mean, if it's on the internet, it's forever. For real, it's easy. Trust me. I
do think people should think about the long-term impact. About the kids, I mean, I guess so. I think when I was younger, there were people who I knew whose mama was strippers, and people didn't really know they were strippers. And if they did know, it was like on the low. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah.
I think that just comes with sexuality just being open. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, I do think it's weird for me to be like let's say I'm a teacher and I follow somebody's OnlyFans and then boom, here they are bringing their third grade to my classroom. But what does that have to do with me? I need my job is to teach the child. Now, the child might be embarrassed, but think about how more open. So this is what I think for real. This just came to my mind. If I want to do it and I don't want my child to do it, I need to pick a side. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, I don't have anything against strippers or people that do porn or OnlyFans, but I don't want my child to do it. And the reason why I wouldn't want my child to do it is because of the things that they might have to also deal with living that lifestyle. Like if they're a stripper, they might have to deal with drugs and fighting and killing and disrespect. Or they do OnlyFans, people have access to their body and they might not have gotten to that point in life where they realize that's not what they truly want to do or something that's conducive to them. Because it's kind of like you want to be an attorney, but they got videos of you sitting on cucumbers. You know what I'm saying? So I think you just need to think about what your long-term plan is. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. But if you have aspirations, I do think you need to think about that. Because at the end of the day, when it comes to a job and it's 100 people that apply, 99 got OnlyFans, one don't, the one who don't probably gonna get the job.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because it's kind of like, well, what are you, can we trust you on our property? You know, it just kind of goes far. It's just all about your moral responsibility, I guess you could say. I don't even know what I just said made sense, but I don't care if people do it, but just be mindful of the impact. That's it.
Yeah, I don't mind it, but I don't think I would be 100% comfortable with dating somebody that does it, and I don't want to do it.
Yeah, I'll do one. All I'm gonna be doing is doing sign language. I'm gonna be like, hey y'all.
Girl, they're gonna report your account.
I think that not getting married and not being in traditional monogamous relationships have become more acceptable. I think that a lot more people are in what they consider polygamous relationships or just having sexual partners and no commitment. Some people are not getting married, which, you know, I don't care if that, you know, whatever. Some people are not having kids. You know, there was a time where having kids really young was the normal part of life. Now people are getting shamed for having kids after 30. You know what I'm saying? It's just kind of so weird how times has changed. I think it just has a lot to do with technology and access. People have so many different career paths to choose from now that they're not in a rush to create a family. Like back in the day, you can be a nurse, you could be a secretary, you could be a teacher, you know what I mean? And that's your career. That's what it's going to be. But now you can be an influencer, a gardener, a chef, a TV mounter, a bed maker. It's kind of like, well, let me keep doing this and try to do this and try to do this, try to do this.
Yeah.
I ain't got time to have no kids.
I do like the fact that marriage isn't forced upon people these days. Like people don't have to feel like they get married, but some people do.
Yeah.
Some people do, and I think that mainly that comes from their family, because a lot of times their family's like, "Oh, when are you gonna get married? When are you gonna have kids?"
Yeah,
how do you know I want to do that?
Right, and I want to do it when I want to do it, and that's not an answer that's good enough to some people. So I'm like, well, stop asking me because I don't care.
Yeah.
The last thing I want is to do something like, you know, there are people who get married because they have a baby on the way, and that's something I never want to be a part of. And I don't want to have a kid because it's forced on me either. Because I just feel like when you don't think I was reading an article the other day about a girl who was talking about how she loves her kid, but she wished she didn't have a kid. And it might sound harsh to say, but when you think about it, she got pregnant really young. She didn't play her cards right, and she didn't want to have a kid, but she loves her kid, but she knows that she could be doing a lot better if she didn't have a kid. And I think that's just, not saying that she obviously, I don't think she was forced to have a kid, but I'm just saying, like, some people come to me all the time like, oh, when I'm having a kid, when I'm getting married, I'm not ready. And when I'm be ready, I don't know. But the last thing I want to do is be resentful and feeling like I didn't really reach the level of life I wanted to be at before I started adding financial responsibilities to myself. No thanks.
So what's the girl named Elena from
From Little Fires Everywhere? What happened with her?
Remember she was telling I think if that's her name, but remember she was telling her youngest girl
Izzy
that she didn't want her.
Oh yeah, she didn't. The reason why is because she went. I think that she was on birth control or something happened, but she felt like she wasn't, like, she ruined her growth in her career because she kept having babies. But girl, your career, you weren't gonna go nowhere anyway. But that's a terrible thing to tell your child.
Yeah, you don't do that.
But people treat their kids like that. Some people have favorites. They treat their children based on how their relationship is with their father or where they were in life. That's not cool. I don't like that.
Yeah, look at Precious.
You have any real examples?
I mean, I don't want to call nobody out.
No. Please don't. But no, I agree. It's annoying. I know people probably don't always mean any harm, but I need them to. They should know. If anybody know me by now, y'all know I do stuff when I'm ready, and if I do or don't want to, and that's all. Oh well. Anyway, I guess that's it for this week.
Problematic Alicia. Anywho, what do you have coming up this week besides working from home?
Oh God, I'm actually about to put in a vacation request in a couple weeks. I was trying to hold off, but it's very clear that I'm not traveling this year, so
yeah.
I'm gonna do that. I have some furniture coming, well, like some little stuff around the house coming, and I'm gonna put that up. I think this week I'm gonna be done with everything for my house.
Period. Come on.
I'm excited, and I've gotten pretty lucky on some stuff. I ain't spent that much money, so that's a blessing. And
hopefully you don't return it.
Mind your business. But no, that's going on, and I've been just trying to eat right. I've been trying to lose some weight. I don't even know how much I started off in quarantine, but I'm almost at the number I was at when I last weighed myself before, in my.
Okay. My class on Facebook definitely was something that was, I would say, successful. I made some good little money off of that. So I'm thinking about doing a second one soon. Maybe not on the Facebook platform. Maybe I'll do it on another platform like Zoom. I don't know yet, but I think that I'm gonna start my Zoom lessons this week too, maybe, or soon, or I'm gonna just advertise it this week. And then
you think about doing like a different topic or a different style of makeup?
Yeah, so for the group classes, I'm definitely gonna switch the models up. Like every week, I'm gonna do like model with dark skin, light skin.
Yes, please do dark skin. I mean, I love the last girl is so beautiful, but I do feel like sometimes I can't really get an idea of how colors will look on my eyelids.
Exactly. So I know a lot of people probably feel the same way. That's why I'm like, let me just go ahead and get more models. So I'm gonna do that. I'm trying to figure out how to make money from home. So I'm just doing a lot of different things, or whatever. But,
yeah, I've been selling stuff. I sold an old Apple router, like an internet router. I'm selling Apple TVs, just stuff I just have for no reason. I'm just like, this can go.
Oh wow! I wish I had that patience. I'm sure it's a lot of stuff I can sell here.
No, it's not. I just list it. I put some pictures, and then I print a shipping label and drop it off at the post office.
Mm. You still on Poshmark?
eBay. I stopped Poshmark. They take a chunk out your pay. They do make it easy for you, but I like eBay because people search there a lot, especially electronics, which is why I was able to sell my stuff so fast.
Okay.
Well, all right, y'all. It's been another episode of OD Podcast. Stay safe out there. Don't eat too much because you gain weight and it's hard to lose it when you ain't being active. Okay.
And get y'all some masks.
Please and thank you. They everywhere now. I saw some in Target. I saw
Yeah, I
some.
saw some in Kroger. So
There we go. And you can make one. But honestly, I don't like these ones people are making. They've been super stiff and weird. But anyway,
I got one somebody made,
okay,
and it's good.
I bet.
All right, I ain't got time.
Bye. I need to take the trash out. Bye.
Bye.